Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Recently I did a video about John Pomfret's book, Chinese Lessons. I did a book review on that and shared it with all my friends, Westerners and Chinese. And I had a Chinese friend who watched my video because she loves me.
Yeah.
And she said that she would like to do a review of my review. So we're going to go through all the points that I had and she's going to tell me a Chinese opinion on that. You may remember Molly from the Adventures of Ai video that we did a couple months back. If you haven't, check it out in the link in the description below. Okay, so my first observation was that Chinese people love basketball. I've noticed that since I moved here. Is this true, or how do you feel about this?
Well, I would say yes, they do love basketball a lot. I have a lot of male friends who are big fans of basketball. But nowadays, we do have a lot of Western sports, which are very popular here in China as well, though we're not good at it, but football.
American football or soccer?
Soccer.
Okay.
Football, skiing.
So the next observation was that people are shy about nudity, so being naked, like in the locker room at the gym. In Europe, everybody's naked, nobody really cares. In the US, it's some people are shy, but other people don't care. But in China, I've never seen a naked man. Not that I want to, but in the locker room, I never see it. So I don't know, is it the same for women?
I do have a lot of weird experiences, but based on my experiences, I would say that's not the case anymore because they're very naked.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the guys are not. They're very shy. You've lived in Europe, you know, everybody's naked and it's okay, but...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we went to the same Europe.
He made this comment about the Chinese language being hard, and of course anybody who's learning a new language is going to agree. And to clarify the meaning, they write on their hands like, oh, it's this character. He and I both felt that was inefficient and makes the language much harder to learn.
Well, about the efficiency part, I would say it could be very efficient if you know this language well.
All right.
If I'm talking to a Chinese friend, the minute I show my finger, he knows what I'm going to talk about. But to you, it could take forever. So I would say the efficiency depends on how well you know Chinese.
Chinese people don't seem to like cheese very much. I know they'll eat it, but in Europe, they live and die by cheese. And in the U.S., we also like cheese. It's fairly cheap. It's fairly easy to find. But I find in the grocery stores here in China that it's hard to find a lot of different kinds of cheese.
So first of all, you know me. I'm a big fan of cheese. In big cities like Beijing, we can only find cheese in big or fancy supermarkets, and they're very expensive comparing to the price in Europe. I think mostly because we don't really produce cheese here. We do, but not really good cheese. All the good cheese are imported, which why they're very expensive, and the price could be the reason people are not really trying it. The second reason I would say is the smell would terrify a lot of people before they try the cheese. Like you guys, before you try the sticky tofu, you would say, okay, this is not gonna be good.
Next thing that I noticed, I'm a guy, so I do look at women.
Okay.
When girls wear tight clothes, you can see their panty line. I noticed that in China, you always see panty lines. But living in Europe, lots of girls wear thongs or don't wear underwear, so you often don't see panty lines. So why do women wear granny panties?
That's a good question. I always say that when it comes to the question I can't answer. So that's a good question. Thongs here mostly refer to sexual related situation. But during the daytime, I do have a lot of female friends who were also studying abroad who are very open to sexual related questions and issues, but still they refuse to wear that during the daytime as they find it less comfortable.
It's just about comfort then.
I think it's all about being comfortable.
But it's strange because a lot of girls are very fashionable. I see the tight skirts and halter tops, but they'll still you can see their panty lines. I'm like, this outfit was supposed to be sexy, but I feel like it was ruined with the panty line, so why?
But for the record, girls get to choose what they're going to wear, and no one can judge that.
I'm just confused because, obviously they were going for sexy. I have to ask my male friends, I guess, is that still sexy to see panty lines? I don't think it's unsexy. It's just after living in Europe, my idea of how fashion goes is their idea of fashion.
Yeah, that's Europe's problem.
How do you feel about people who spit on the ground outside?
I hate them. Considering this whole crazy COVID situation going on, that's really a disgusting habit. I understand how common it might seem like, but the majority I know would disagree with that kind of behavior, would hate them like I do. In China, as you have noticed, we don't really accuse people if we notice that's wrong. We hardly do that. I was yelling at them in my mind silently. You can tell a lot of people who's still doing that are old people, at least older generation. I just want to say that we know it's wrong. Let's see what we can do to make it better in the near future.
Do you think because most of them are a little bit older and in the Chinese culture you need to respect your elders, is this kind of why nobody is addressing it?
We just don't address it. Regardless their age, we just don't address it.
Another thing that I've seen quite often, and then he mentioned in his book, was that women often feel pressure from their families to get married young. What do you think about this?
It was very common, say 5 to 10 years ago. Now, more and more young women are getting well educated in bigger cities like in Beijing, Guangzhou, Shanghai. Single lady who are turning 30 but not afraid of anything, regardless the warnings from the family or judgment from neighbors, people you don't know. They're not afraid of those judgment anymore.
So before, maybe it was most women's only option was to get married if they wanted to have a better life, but now they can just create their own better life.
Yeah, and for now in rural areas, you have less choices. That's why they might assume getting married it would be the only choice.
Black, so no matter where I've been around the world, often people just look at me because black people aren't everywhere. So coming to China, I don't feel like I've been treated differently because I'm black, but people definitely stare and look at me and notice me. But in the book, he mentioned that darker Chinese are actually treated like lower substandard than whiter Chinese. And even in the marketing I see for beauty products, it's not be more beautiful, it's be whiter. What do you think about this?
I think color cannot be the part that you distinguish people. That's just making no sense. So here in China, we would assume people who are always working outside, like cheap labor, they are those people who are getting tanned because they have to work outside all the time. And for people who are richer or fancier, there are people with whiter skin. They would assume, okay, these people could be rich, we should respect those people more. And to me, that's kind of hilarious because this does not make no sense. That kind of stereotype of rich people and poor people just stays there for a long time. But for now, we have a lot of people who's been studying abroad, who have been traveling all over the world, and then they came back here. I have noticed there are more beauty products that helps you to get tanned, like spray and all. They're already here in Beijing. So I think the trend are changing, but unfortunately, that's still not the majority.
As a man from the US, we value a firm handshake. I don't know why, but many Chinese men have limp fish where you just kind of, we want to do that. Like, and then you grab, like, you know, not trying to show your dominance, but like, hey, I'm serious about this. But here I find it's like, that's how women used to shake hands in the old times in the US. Is this important for you or what?
Handshake and hugs aren't very important to most of the Chinese people because that's not how we greet people for the very first time. We're very shy, and when it comes to body contact, people tend to be more shy. That's why when it comes to handshake, they would love to avoid such contact. So like, okay, I did that. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Not because Chinese people aren't strong.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
you met
I
my
didn't say
fiancé,
that.
so you know that.
Oh, my fiance.
He is very strong.
I wonder what happened to my fiancé. I know he's here somewhere. Ellen, have you seen my fiancé? He's upstairs. Are you going upstairs? Tell my fiancé I'm looking for him. I have lost my fiancé, the poor baby.
Maybe the dingo ate your baby.
That's why they're avoiding this kind of contact. So let's do it in a quick way. So just beep.
It's interesting now that you mentioned that. I'm a hugger. That's how my family is. And so I hug my Chinese friends like, oh, happy birthday. You know? And I didn't think about it before, but now I'm realizing I didn't feel any hug back.
They're like,
it's like me, and they're just like, okay, I'm being hugged. Yeah, oh, thanks, Tim. Yeah. You know, I exercise in the park. Sometimes when I'm going to the park or I'm showing up, I see usually older people. They're walking backwards. And Why? Why are they walking backwards?
I can answer the question for them, but I can assume what was happening. Walking backward, slapping the trees, and keep beating themselves.
Yeah.
They believe by doing so can help them to exercise. I'm pretty sure there was some people were doing it, and then everybody started to copy it.
Yeah.
And then slowly it's kind of turning popular in the park.
Okay. He mentioned avoiding cold water. And I understand drinking hot water is a preference, but I noticed, especially like my female friends or colleagues, if it's that time of the month or if they're sick, they avoid cold water. Like, don't do anything cold. Why?
This would be more relating to Chinese traditional medical
Medicine.
knowledge.
Oh.
Human bodies are warm, so you avoid colder stuff to somehow lower your temperature.
But then when you're hot or you have a fever, you want your temperature to come down. So why wouldn't they recommend drinking cold water?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's why I said I have a little knowledge, and you have to challenge that, huh? I don't know. It's just mom says so. It's good for you. We don't know why, but it's good for you. Okay. I've watched this in a documentary saying Western women are giving birth. At that time, they have some ice cream. Is that correct?
I don't know. I don't have any children. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Leave a comment below. Let us know because I don't know. Yeah.
If you do that here, mom's gonna get crazy.
So you were studying abroad in Scotland, so you understand the difference between big populations and small populations. He and I both agree that in China, when you're talking to somebody who's probably from a more rural area, not from one of the big cities, they say, oh, my hometown, it's a small hometown, small city, only 8 million people. And in America, New York is barely over 7 million, and that's our biggest city. So do you do this as well when you were traveling abroad? Or?
Yes. Once I was in Scotland, a friend from Luxembourg, he told me the total amount of people of his city. I was in shock because my neighborhood, we got more people than that city.
How many people are in your hometown?
Okay, I'm just gonna count.
Okay.
So
It's because Chinese numbers are hard once you pass 10,000.
it is, not because of I'm not good at the math. 300,000.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's small. I mean, by China standards.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Because
why-
that sounds normal for us. Like, oh, 300,000. That's you have a nice size.
Wait, that
See.
sounds normal? I have to double check if that sounds normal.
How many zeros?
6?
Oh, that's 3 million.
3 million.
That sounds more right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. And you're not from like a super populated area. So
No.
that's a lot of
From
people.
the city, I think it's already over
1 million.
1 million.
Yeah.
That's the city I
Jeez.
come from. And not even popular city, tier 5. I would say so.
1 million is tier 5. Okay, so he mentions this in the book about Chinese people kanren now. And I think in the West we do this as well, but Chinese people are not shy about watching. In America we'll just kind of like try to be sneaky, like, oh my goodness, look over, don't look, well, and just turn your eyes. But in China they'll just walk up to you and just like, wow, look at your situation. No, I'm not here. I just want to watch, but I wanted a front row view.
That's true. Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they're very shy. But when it comes to other people's problem, we're not shy anymore. We're just there to watch. I have no idea why people do that. I mean, I do that as well sometimes.
It seems like China has a lot of rules, but a lot of those rules people don't follow. Some specific examples would be traffic laws, and then, smoking is another huge one for me because there's no smoking signs everywhere in China. If you were to walk around with no people in China, you'd be like, this is a smoke-free place. But that's not the case. And people will do it like in front of the area where it's like posted like, don't enter, and people will go in. The security guards, police officers, you see them doing it. I know people say, oh, they did it, so I'm gonna do it too. Are these rules just for show, or?
We have our own ways to make the judgment that whether we're gonna follow it or not.
Can you share? So I need some tips. I need to be to use this.
This lecture won't be free, so we can discuss the price later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say just that it really depends on where. So we're working in a really casual building, and you can see the no smoking sign 100 times per day. And clearly, there's no penalty because nobody cares. But say hospital, government buildings, you don't do that because you understand there will be penalty.
All right, so I just gotta figure it out.
You have to figure it out.
We live in Beijing, and I've traveled around China. Comparing Beijing with every other city I've been to in China, Beijing has the worst drivers. Why are the drivers so bad?
I was complaining that every day. I don't know, for cities like Hangzhou, super tourist-friendly city, the honk is banned in main city area. You don't do that because you're disturbing other people. There are a lot of tourists in that city, and when it comes to the pedestrian, you have to wait. And even in my tier 5 hometown city that I just mentioned, you just have to wait. Otherwise, points will be deducted from your driver lessons, and you will be fined as well. My mom got one ticket last month because she was kind of not waiting for one person who was walking on a pedestrian. He was 5 meters away from my mom, seriously, but still, even the one is walking on that pedestrian, you will just have to wait regardless which line he's walking. So that's in my city and in other many cities here in China, but I don't know why those rules aren't just applied here in Beijing. I have no idea.
I don't know if I should ask you this because you're a woman and this is very specific to men.
Okay.
I'll ask you anyway. So in the book, he mentions that his friend, a Chinese friend, is at a table and they're talking, and he's telling the story about him and a woman that he had a one-night stand with. Then he looks over at the author and says, "You'll never hear a Chinese man discussing his sex life. Of all of my Chinese friends, none of them would ever talk about this. My Western friends, Westerners that I just met for the first time, they're just sharing detail. I'm like, dude, wow, I just met you. I don't need to know all this." What about women? Do Chinese women the same? Based on your experience with Europeans and Chinese?
Back in Europe, when I was with my Chinese friends or European friends, we did talk about it. But when I came back here, most of my Chinese friends, they haven't been studying abroad, or they have this reserved character for a long time. We don't share. Plus, after watching your video, I did talk to my fiancé about it. And I asked him about, like, will you guys share about those details? Why or why not? He just told me never. Like, it's never gonna happen.
In the U.S., I think it just depends on who you're with would determine if you talk about it or not. But I feel like guys everywhere that I've lived in the world, except for China, no matter your age, no matter where you're from, if it comes up, people will talk about it. I just mentioned this in my last video. So Chinese people, I hate saying just Chinese people, makes me feel like I'm just labeling the whole country. So in my experience, I've noticed that when I eat out with my Chinese friends, or I like to have parties, so I invite Chinese friends over, it's okay to, eat like this, or talk with food in your mouth, or make noises while you're eating. In the U.S., we say this is bad table manners, and in Europe, I mean, people might do it, but I never really noticed it if they do. But here, like, I had a roommate, like, the whole meal, she's like, I'm like, can you breathe out of your nose? Like, why are you making so much noise? Why?
In my family, those are definitely bad table manner. I think it really depends on where they grew up, how they grew up. Whether people point it out, whether there's a people tell them, okay, this is right to do, this is wrong to do. If not, I'm pretty sure even they know now as an adult, they know this is wrong, but still it really takes some time to quit it.
No matter where you're from, there's always people who were not raised with the same values. But I just feel like it's a lot of people that I meet. In general, they're nice people. They're good people. I wouldn't say that they are rude people, but just when they're eating, we're having a good time. They're, is it that good? Thank you, because I probably cooked it, so thank you.
But it's that good.
It's that good. My cooking's that good. Thank you, Molly, for coming in and sharing and giving us another perspective on Chinese culture. So remember to hit the subscribe button, like, share, leave us comments below if you live in China and you have opinions about these, or if you're Chinese and you want to share what you think, just let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.